So, today, what we're going to be going over is we are going over crypto, business, and credit. So, let's kind of go through the line here and talk about our speakers for a second. So, first and foremost, Carlos, the host of Crypto, Business, and Credit. Carlos, the credit assassin here. We
Guys,
also,
how we doing? Welcome to everybody.
all right. We also have Misha Holland. Misha, say hi.
Hi.
All right. And then myself, Brock, kind of a partner in crime here. So we're going to kind of go a little bit into everything today, guys. So, what we want to do here, our intention for this podcast is to really kind of spread the word about crypto, business, and credit, right? And how those all intertwine and what type of investments you should be looking for as a business owner, and to make sure and show you how to get the funds for said investments. So, awesome. Carlos, do you want to start us off?
Awesome. All right, guys, welcome, everybody. We're very happy to be here today. Kind of unorthodox. We do it during the night, and we usually do our weekly business funding and whiskey, which is still going to happen. So
Yes.
don't let it. So we actually want to talk about today about different type of investments, and one of those is the crypto world. That to a lot of us is still very, very new. And I got to say, look, I've been investing in real estate for the past 12 years. And I always looked up crypto as the foreign thing to actually deal with until really I met Misha, and Misha kind of broke it down
Yes.
for me. And it's because of Misha that I got into crypto. And so, but I want to actually for her because he has that way to explain not only finances, but she is able to also explain to you life insurances, but at the same time, a different type of investment that we all should look into it that amazed me that when I heard it when it was explained to me, and I want everybody else to hear it too because you know what I've been missing a lot. At least Novatech has been in business for what the past 3 years.
Going on
Right?
to that fourth year, actually.
Oh
Yeah.
my lord! So imagine if I would have been there from the forefront.
Oof.
Things would
Yes.
have been so much different right now. But though, you know what? Welcome, Misha. We appreciate you guys that
Thank you.
that you're here with us today. Thank you for actually making it. I know you schedule's very busy, so we want to go ahead and talk to you and ask you certain questions. So you can also talk to the community, and if the community is
Okay.
looking
Awesome.
to do something and to invest in, look, we have one of the best ones in the industry right now. So, Miss Misha Holland, how you doing today?
Thank you. I'm doing well, and thank you for having me, Carlos and
No, come
Mr.
on.
Brock.
Okay.
Ah!
So tell us, how do you get into business? What made you get into life insurances, being a broker, but also in investments?
Okay.
Why do you do this?
Gotcha. It's a lot I can say, Carlos. I will say I'm a native of Atlanta, Georgia. I've always been very passionate about helping people, right? I love helping people. I'm heavy into the ministry. Um, it's a lot of great things out there in the financial industry that people just don't know. I'm big on education, right? I feel that financial literacy should be a part of graduating, right? It should be a part of the curriculum because they don't teach us this in school or in college.
Very
So I've always been like very passionate. When I understood how money worked, like I was about maybe 18, 19 years old, I was introduced to the Forex market. I was
true.
introduced to stocks and options. And that opened up a whole different world for me. So I understood how money worked and that we didn't always have to work for our money.
Yeah.
So I became hungry for it and I just kept searching. And then I was introduced to IULs and annuities and different things. And I said, man, I can help a lot of people. So I decided to put one of my businesses down at the time and go back to get licensed to become an agent because I felt that because of my passion and if I get licensed, I can help a lot of people. If they see something that I'm doing, they know if Misha's doing it, it's working, right?
Yeah.
Even though it's some investments, there's risk involved, but I'm the type of person I'll try things out first.
Yeah.
And then I will introduce it to other people. So it became a mission for me. And like I tell any other agent, I'm not commission driven, I'm mission
Mhm.
driven. So I like to really get out to the masses. I like to educate and just simply teach what's out there. And I like to become a product of the product. So a lot of things that I teach people, I actually have myself. So that's how it began, just being at the right place at the right time, being introduced, networking, and building relationships. That's part of the reason that I am where I am. And I just decided to take it a little bit further and get licensed in other states because I didn't want to be limited to Georgia.
Wow.
So that's a little bit background as to how I got here and where I'm looking to go. So that's part of my mission, and I'm not going to stop until I help as many people as I can.
There we
Love
go.
it. All
That's a great
right.
mission to have. Now,
Yeah.
there's a lot of nuggets in everything that you just said. Let's talk
Mhm.
about IULs. Can you explain
Okay.
to the community what is an IUL and how do you eat this?
Yes. So it's a lot. We that will be a whole different segment, right? So we're gonna
Okay,
have to
got it.
dive into it even more later. But I will say a IUL is I live IULs, right?
IUL.
It is a life insurance product. It's an index. It's an actual index universal life policy. So it is to not be compared or confused with a universal life because it's
Got
totally different with a index strategy because it is a part of it that's tied to the market a little bit, but it gives you more value if that makes sense. So it still builds cash value, like a traditional whole life, but a lot quicker. It's a lot
got
faster, and then you it's a permanent product, so it never will expire. You have a lot of companies. I'm not going to go into names that it's increasing term or it expire and you get no benefit. What I love about the IUL is that the cash value is built a lot faster and you don't have to worry about it running out, right?
got
So well, I may not need to go into specific numbers on my own policy, but I will say that I started my retirement through like through the IUL, right? So I was at age 26.
Mhm.
I'm 37 now, so I've had my IUL since the age of 26, and
Wow.
it's going really well. I have a tax-free retirement benefit attached to that policy. So those
Mhm.
are the things that people just don't know it exists in life insurance. You can literally set up your kids through an IUL. You can set up their future. You can set yourself up. Look at us. We're self-employed. Most people are business owners. We don't have a traditional 401k, right? So why
Yeah.
not put yourself in a position not only to for retirement purposes, also for living benefits. And that's another thing we can go into throughout the segment and understanding what living benefits are because a lot of people think that life insurance is only designed when you pass away, but it's so much more that you can benefit while you're actually living. So the IUL, that's something I highly recommend for people. If you're young, even if you're older and healthy, guys, that is the way to go because you can literally create generational wealth through this policy. It's
So you don't have
amazing
to
what this
be
index and strategy do.
got it. So you don't have to be a specific age to be able to get an IUL. Anyone can get an IUL.
No, yeah, you can get an IUL now. For my older clients, I always tell them, even if it's too expensive, because of course, if you're 70 years of age, it's always three. Let me back up a little bit. It's always three factors with life insurance,
Got
right? It's your age, your health, and your budget.
it. Mhm.
I always tell people sometimes you may want $1 million policy, but you may not can afford it, especially if you wait until 60 versus go ahead and get one started when you're 30. So I'm very transparent when it comes to, different things because people need to know what's behind life insurance, right? So even if a person is older, they still have the ability, even if they have to get it on their grandkids.
Got it.
Think about it. They're older, so they're still the policy owner. They will still have those benefits as well,
Mhm.
but it's just having the premium a lot more affordable for them as well. And that's
Mhm.
also an option for our older people because you have some people want to set up an IUL on their grandkids to make sure they can have all that they need and for generations to come. So it depends on the need of the client, and we can always customize different quotes or different packages to fit the need of that particular client because it varies. Sometimes people get life insurance just for burial purposes only. Some people want to leave a legacy behind. Some people want it for mortgage protection, which that's another thing people don't talk about because they don't understand and know that there are policies in place that you can have if something was to happen. Because I hear a lot of people say, hey, I want to leave this house to my daughter, but you're leaving that debt to her. So if you don't have a policy in place to pay that mortgage off, you're
Yeah.
absolutely leaving that $300,000 worth of debt to her. So if she, again, you, credit man, if they don't have the credit or the finances to carry on that mortgage, what happens? They're going to end up losing it, right? So
Yeah, they're
those are
gonna
the
end up.
things that we have to educate on.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So
Interesting.
so IUL. I mean, this is something that when I first found out what IUL was, I
Yes.
said that's gonna be one of my investment vehicles. But if you go through all social media, there's
Yeah.
always people talking about IULs. And this is a question that we get asked a lot. How can I use my IULs? Can you use an IUL for
Mhm.
investments? Can you pull money out? Is it true that you could put it towards real estate?
You
I
can.
mean, and some other options that they have. I mean, can you explain to us how is an IUL can be used as a vehicle for investments?
Right. So it's just like a typical policy that has cash value, right? So if an IUL, if depending on the face value of your policy, with time it builds cash value. So just say over years you may have maybe 50 grand that you've accumulated that you've never touched, right? So you have access to that cushion now. Now, on the flip side, they take it out as a loan, but you technically, if you do decide not to pay it back or pay it back, they will deduct that amount. So say if you have 300,000 and you take 50,000 out your policy, that will be deducted from your death benefit. So for
Mm,
people that don't pay their loan back, that's fine because they'll just deduct it from your death benefit. However, I always educate clients or family and friends, never take, if you have 50,000, never take the whole amount of cash value out, because what happens will is that you will lapse. So it's wise, if
mm.
you have 50,000 cash value, you may want to take maybe 40, 45. You have to leave yourself a little bit cushion because you don't want your policy to lapse. So if you take all of your cash value, that policy will go away. So we have
Wow.
to be very careful and strategic when we do pull from our policies. And that's a lot of times agents don't tell you the truth. So that's why you
Wow.
have agents like Misha that really breaks it down, because you don't want to work that hard and build up all this cash value and get so excited. Well, I just want to take all of it out. Well, if they cut you a check, then if you pass away in an accident next week, where's your policy? You took
Yeah.
everything out of your policy that you work hard to build.
Wow.
Gotcha.
Wow.
So, Misha, I have a question for you, right? So, I'm not
Hmm.
very savvy in IULs whatsoever. So, can you
Right.
explain to me exactly how it works? So, I get a policy and I pay a
Hmm.
monthly sum to this policy, right? And does it
Right.
over time? Is there interest involved? Like, how exactly does that work?
Right. So IULs is a very creative policy, meaning that you can actually choose. Okay, if you tell me, well, Misha, find out, okay, I have about $300 a month that I want to contribute to this policy. What does that look like? Then at that point, I will run some quotes for you to see how much death benefit will that get you, because it's always based on how much you want to invest into this policy. Give an
Uh,
example. When I was 26 years old, right? One of my mentors asked me, "What are you comfortable with every single month?" So I said, "Well, hey, during that time, 20 in my 20s, you're making decent." But I said, "Okay, nothing that won't break the bank. Let's do $200." Well, keep in mind, I'm 26 years old, so that $200 gave me over 400, close to 400,000 worth of death benefit,
wow.
and because of the tax free strategy that was involved, I'm at 45,000 a year tax free for the rest of my life, right?
Mm,
So it depends on how much you want to invest, and then that will determine how much death benefit that will look like for you, and also it will give you a projected calculation of accumulation value is what we call it. And it'll show you how or what the potential cash value looks like for you over time. And that's simple
wow.
as just you getting a quote or illustration is what we call it. And we want those illustrations, and you say, well, I want a little bit more than that. I may have kids. What does $500 a month? So, we have people go very aggressive with IUL. Some people put 1,000 in, some people put 2,000. It just depends on where you are financially. You can get as
Mhm.
much as you want. And you can also get more than one IUL. You're not limited to just one.
Mm,
So
wow.
yeah, people do that as well. So it just depends on where you are. And that's why it's important to customize, see the need of the client, not to just throw figures. And because you also have to qualify. So that's
Yeah.
another thing. If you're fairly
Mm,
healthy, if you have a lot of health issues, the IUL may not be the product for a person that has a lot of health issues, because again, it depends on if you go over a certain amount, then
mhm.
it goes into a fully underwritten state where they draw blood, they may have to get urine. So
Wow.
that's a whole different level when they have to dig, because now they're digging into your medical records. Now they're really seeing, they're going a little bit further, because you know why? There, if you qualify for close to a million, they want to make sure that, hey, you are healthy if something was to happen, because they'll be paying out a
Right.
lot of money. So you can't blame them, right?
Yeah,
Right,
that's
right.
very
So
true.
yeah, so
Okay.
that's kind of the gist of how it works. It can vary depending on the company. It's several companies that have really good IULs. So it just depends, because some may give a little bit more benefits. Some rates may, average a little bit higher. The one that I have on myself before I became an agent, I'm averaging about 13% a year.
Okay.
It dropped down to maybe 11%, but it's been pretty consistent over the last couple of years. So it just
Wow.
depends.
One of the
Wow.
And
questions
that's
that
great.
that's awesome. So one of the questions that someone has is this is just like what they call infinite financing or infinite banking?
No, so a lot of times people
Okay.
do they get them mixed up. Infinite base. I don't know everything about it, but I have been looking into it recently,
Yeah.
because a lot of people say it's a lot of misleading information on TikTok when it
Hmm.
comes to, well, you can just take this money and do this. Yeah, that is, some of it is true, but some of it, you really have to already have a policy to understand how it works, or speak with the agent, because sometimes what you read on the internet is not, because everybody doesn't qualify. Let's be real. You may
Got it.
see commercials, like, think about the commercial where is guaranteed life is 9.95 a month. Well, if you're 80 years old, there's no way you can get a policy for 9.95 a month. But what they
Yeah.
don't tell people, that is per unit, meaning that's per $1,000. And
Mm.
anytime somebody said, and this is just a nugget for all of our listeners, anytime you hear guaranteed life, understand that that is a graded policy. And what that means is that you have to wait 2 to 4 years before that policy to pay out. So if
Wow.
you are healthy, you should not be in a graded policy. So that's why I tell people, never sign up for stuff on the TV. Do not sign up for stuff that comes in the mail. It may be $1.33, but you don't know, if you don't know what you're paying for, you're going to get exactly what you pay for. And it may be a lot of accidental death. So if you don't die accidental death, it's not going to pay out. So these are the reasons that I have workshops and I talk with clients, and I just tell people, we go through whatever the need is, and I explain to them the difference, so they know exactly what you're paying for, and understand there's nothing wrong with accidental death. You want to add that as a rider on your policy. You never want to just
Mhm.
get all accidental death, because what if you die natural causes? So your family is stuck with a funeral bill now. So
Wow.
another
Mm.
extra nugget for the listeners.
No,
That
I
is
love it.
awesome to
So, how
know.
does this compare to traditional 401k?
It doesn't. It absolutely doesn't. 401ks, it was never my thing, even when I was in corporate. I tell people, hey, if your company is matching something, if you want to do it. But this is my theory, and I'm gonna be very transparent. If you have no intentions on retiring from that job, if you're not planning on working 10, 20 plus years, for me, it's so many other things, like especially with life insurance, that gives you the protection that you need behind your money. Because say you run into a hardship where you're going to be penalized because you're not 59 and a half, and you're
Mhm.
going to be subject to a higher level of taxes. So people have to understand its pros and cons. They may be matching it, but guess what? If you leave that company, so does your retirement.
Wow.
So think about people that I run into. Oh, I don't need life insurance, Misha. I have it on my job. Well, honey, if you leave that job, or if you out on leave, or if you get terminated, those benefits goes away. So it's always
Wow.
important for you to have benefits outside of your corporate job, because that's what you have full control over. When you have benefits through the employer, that is, they have more control over that than you do, because if you leave, it goes away. So you're starting back from square one, and it's based on a group rate. So a lot of times, if you can convert it from the corporate side to personal, it's too
Yeah.
expensive where you can't afford it, because it's
Right.
based on a group rate.
Wow, wow, that's amazing. I mean, that's good to know. And again, I never had that experience because I came from a military perspective. My military time
Gotcha.
was completely different. There was no 401k, and that's something that I had to learn the hard way, being now owning a company and so on. But
Right.
you seem very educated when it comes down to investments, right?
Yeah,
You would
I
say
love investing.
that. What type of rules do you follow when you want to invest? Obviously, we know that you know how to actually work on the side when it comes down to life insurance and investment and that
Right.
side. But when you actually invest into anything else, because that's one of the things that you also do, right?
Yeah,
What rules
absolutely.
do you follow?
So when investing, always understand there's a risk involved. Number one, it's a
Mhm,
risk. Do not put your mortgage money in, your car note money. Always use
mhm.
disposable income and never, never, never afford more than you can afford to lose.
Mm.
Never.
That's really true.
Like,
So
I
wars.
mean, we can't afford to lose anything these days, but I tell you, when it comes to investment, please do not go take out a second mortgage. Don't refinance your home. People do crazy stuff to invest, especially investing into something that have high year returns and is no guarantee. And our life is not guaranteed. So
Yeah.
understand that when it comes to investing, you have to be very strategic and understand that you have conservative investments and you have higher risk investments. The higher the risk, the higher reward. But you want to stay away from things that people try to give you a guarantee on because people fall for these heights all the time. Anytime that they can guarantee you a return, you need to run from it because we cannot guarantee anything in this market, not even our life. So please run from platforms like that. So yeah, be very, very cautious. Do not fall for the tricks because they are out there.
Right, right.
We should
Always
have
do your
those rules.
research.
We should have those rules in a shirt. We should actually go ahead and
Yes.
get those done. That's a good rule.
Yes, we should for sure.
Now let me ask you something today. 2022, almost at the end of 2022, we already started the last quarter. What
Okay.
investments do you advise others and our listeners to invest on for the last quarter going into 2023?
Awesome. Definitely the crypto market. The crypto and the forex market is always an area that I mean, I won't say you can't lose because you can, but it is so rewarding. If
Yeah.
you're with the right platform, that's the key. It's a lot
Mhm.
out here, but you have to be with the right platform.
Uh-huh.
Cryptocurrency is not new.
Hmm.
It's new to a lot of people. I don't know everything about it, but I know enough to get in position. Because, like I tell people all the time, crypto is where the transfer of wealth is going to take place. But you have to get yourself in position now before all the regulation stuff come, before all of the government stuff comes. But people really need to see. If you look at where Bitcoin started off back in what 2007 or 8, where it is now,
Wow.
man, I mean,
Gosh,
we
could
will
you
probably be on
imagine?
the island. We'll probably be on the island having a
You're
call,
lonely
right?
then. Yeah.
That's amazing. So you said the right
Yeah.
platform. That was the key point right there. The right platform. So what is the right platform right now? You're
There
saying
is
to
it's
us. Yeah.
okay. It's a lot of different ones out there, but the one that I have vetted and has been very consistent and has been phenomenal is Novatech. Novatech
No.
is a life changer. It is I love Novatech. I mean, I love the vision. I love the CEOs, the mission statements, everything that they're about, the integrity, everything. Novatech is winning. I mean, and they're going into their fourth year now, and no one has lost anything. That's the
Yeah.
crazy part. Like we're all winning every
Yeah.
single week. We're getting paid without fail.
Oh yeah, I
Without
know.
fail.
I know that. I know that.
So let's kind of explain exactly what Novatech is for our listeners who don't know,
Okay.
right? So I know that
Okay.
the three of us are like very pro Novatech. We're
Yeah.
I'm gonna speak for myself. I'm invested in it, and yeah, and I love it. Right? You said it very much yourself. Hey, it pays every week, but there's a lot of people out there that just don't know what that is.
Gotcha. So Novatech is a crypto and forex trading platform. It's also a private hedge fund opportunity. Now, what people don't understand, with a private hedge fund, typically you would have to have about 25,000 minimum to invest, right? What I love about Novatech, they make it equal for anybody, the average person to win and to play like the big boys, right? Because typically these platforms are only available to the elites, to the top 3% of the world. But they
Yeah.
literally have made a way for everybody to win. Literally. I
Hmm.
mean, just by starting a amount, because compounded interest is the way to go. So that's what I love about it because they're wanting to take people's situations and make it better than what it was before. And
Got it.
guys, listen, they started in the midst of the pandemic, like 2019. So me
Yeah.
personally, I feel like they've gotten through the hardest part, like whatever the ups and downs. Everybody
Mhm.
has the wave of business, right?
Of
But
course.
for to start company of this magnitude in the pandemic, and even when the market crashed several times this year, we didn't lose anything. We kept gaining.
Yeah,
It was crazy, right, Brock? You remember, like when the crypto took like $1 trillion drop, and
yeah.
everybody was like, "Man, we may
We
not
got
get
paid.
anything this week," but we was like, "Whoa, we still earned." Like it was crazy. It was crazy. So yeah,
Yeah, no, absolutely.
if I had to choose out of any other platform, Novatech is my number one.
Yeah.
It's a lot out there, but Novatech is the one that I mean, literally, like if anybody asks me, hey, if I have 50,000, what should I do with it? Novatech.
Yeah.
If it's disposable income, yeah, hey, Misha, I have this, some money for my tax returns. Novatech
Novatech.
all day long, and you can start small,
Yeah.
add more later, build up, play around with it, see how it works. But once you see you're consistently getting paid, naturally you're gonna keep adding more.
Of
Like
course.
Right.
it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
No-brainer.
It's exactly what I did, right? As I invested a little bit, I continued to get paid and I invested even more. So, I mean, for me, definitely a no-brainer. But let's talk about the fun stuff with Novatech, right? Like, when we say, hey, it continues to pay us, what does that mean, Misha? Oh, do we? You with us?
Yeah, I am. I don't know if it's my end or can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
hear you
Okay.
now. Yeah.
I'm good. Okay, cool. I was just
Yes,
making sure it
yes,
looked like it stalled a little bit. So for everybody that's listening to us right now, what happens is when you create your account with Novatech, it is your account. It's nothing like the banks where they're locking your money up for a couple of years and you don't have access to your funds and you're penalized if you need it. It's literally your account, right? It's all crypto in and all crypto out. So you invest via crypto, different coins that they give you the option. They trade on your behalf. So for the listeners out there, people want to learn how to trade. You have that option with Novatech. That we have a free academy that's available to you if you want to learn how to trade. However, I leave it up to the professionals, right? They have over 20, 30 years experience. I don't want to look at charts all day. I don't want to get up at 3 in the morning because I normally go to bed at 3 in the morning. So I let them do everything, right? So literally they're going to the market. They, pick trades out or whatever entry levels they can go in. So for us to get a return and literally every single
We losing Misha. She'll be back. Have faith. Misha, you here with us? Misha.
Uh-oh.
I think we lost her. I think we lost her.
Yeah, I
Misha,
think
can
it's
you hear
a
us?
little bit of a connection issue.
Yeah. Can you hear us? No, we cannot hear you.
Nope, can't hear you. Carlos, if we had whiskey right now, we'd be drinking.
Yeah, because that's what we do every time somebody. So we lost her for a minute. Let me see if she comes back in.
Okay. Well, hey,
So, but tell me, how's it been for you with Novatech?
Yeah, so I love Novatech personally. Oh, and here she comes again.
Yeah, but go ahead.
Yeah. So Novatech has been around since 2019. They're averaging 3% returns on a weekly basis, right? So those compounded, meaning that if I invest X amount of money, I can expect that every week I'm going to make 3%. Now, I get the choice. Like Misha said, it's not, they don't hold your money. So you can take your money out at any point in time. So when I invest my money, I just reinvest it every single week. So every Friday I get paid.
Got it.
And I take that money on Fridays and I reinvest it and I let the professionals trade it. Again, I don't need any professional, like I don't want to trade. Okay. They do very, very well. They've been in operation since 2019.
That's amazing.
And again, 2019 alone, they did over 400% ROI, right? Return on investment. Meaning that, anybody who joined them when they first started that first year, they saw a 400% increase in whatever their investment was.
Amazing.
Right. So had you invested, I don't want to do the math right now, Carlos, because just imagine, right? If you invested $10,000, potentially $40,000 return, and again, it's your money.
And
that
actually,
can be
I have a sheet that actually gives you and it compounds it for me. And I know that over the period of time of 3 months, if I'm able to invest about $100,000, it usually comes out to like $46,000, right, Misha? Am I correct in that
Yep.
one? So
yeah.
think the potential over here of how much you can get over time if you leave your money. But if you want to be, I mean, if it was up to me and I want to play short, I would leave it there for at least 6 months, pull that money out, and I already recoup the money that I invested
Yeah.
just in case. I want to be safe, and then do that again over and over, or let it compound, however you want to do. But again, like Misha was saying, it's like don't invest money in anything that you do, even real estate. I mean, real estate is one of the safest things that you can actually invest your money in, but don't invest your money in something that you're not willing to lose.
Right.
Any type of
And that's a
investment
good
has a
strategy,
risk.
Carlos. That is a great
So yeah,
strategy. I always tell people that. Yeah.
and again, do your due diligence, do your research. Just don't let yourself go by anyone out there. Like Misha was saying, there's a lot of people in the internet saying the wrong things, teaching you the wrong things. You know, and again, do that. Listen to them, but listen to other sources. Compare. It's like whenever you go to the doctor, you usually get one or two different, different options, right? Just the same thing when
Absolutely.
you invest, and invest is your money. Don't lose your hard-earned money. So
Mhm.
go ahead, Brock.
Yeah, no. So Misha, you left us there for a second, but I was just talking about my experience with
Okay.
Novatech so far. Excuse me. And I did the math,
Gotcha.
and based off of an average of 3% returns, I knew that
Hmm.
in 30 to 32 weeks, I was going to double my money, right? So whatever I invested, I knew I was going to double it. And because of the different types of options they have for you being able to make additional residual income, I was actually able to double my money in 20 weeks exactly. So it was really
It's
great stuff to
crazy.
see. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
the
So
comp plan is insane, guys. Like it's ridiculous. And what I love about Novatech is that you don't have to recruit to make money. They're based on people joining
right.
and new money coming in. Because you have a lot of platforms, you need new money always circling around for other people to win.
Yeah.
And Novatech is, I mean, they covered everything, right? A lot of times, because I've been a part of other platforms where, you have to pay $300-400 a month, right? But a lot comes with that, and then you don't get anything. So with Novatech, you have a free trading academy that you have access to. If you want to learn how to trade, you have that option. If you want to recruit, you have an affiliate side that pays you an additional 7 streams of income if you choose, but it's optional. They don't discriminate, meaning that if Carlos have $1 million in his account and I only have 50,000, they don't give Carlos 10% a week. We all earn the same percentage, but of
Right.
course $1 million account at 3% is totally different from somebody that has 25K in their account, but we all get the same return, right? So that's what I love about it, because you have platforms, well, if you come in with this amount, we'll give you 20%. How is that possible? Because you can't guarantee somebody 20% a week.
Yeah.
But those are the things I like about Novatech, because the integrity is very high. Um, they don't discriminate. They pay you very well, and it's very affordable. A person can come in at a couple of $100. We always recommend a bronze level and above, but they can come in a couple of $100, play around, and I mean that $500 can turn into a lot over time. You don't like to go
Yeah.
too deep into figures, but that little bit of money, because what does Warren Buffett say? Compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world.
All right.
So that's how you build your nest egg. You continue to compound and reinvest your earnings. But you do have the privilege of Novatech. You do have the option to pour your money out. If you want to use that as an extra income every week instead of compounding, you can withdraw it. But I do tell people, like Carlos say, at least
Mhm.
allow your initial to double. Pull out
To
your
double.
initial. That way is play money or free money at that point. That way the risk, you don't have any risk anymore, because hey, if I start with 1,000, I wait till it turns to one of uh, 2,000 or $4,000, taking my
Yeah.
initial out. So I have that, so it's no more risk at that point.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, that's a really good point there, right? Then you're just playing with house money, um, and you have nothing to
Hmm.
lose. So yeah, I've seen a lot of other platforms
Nothing
out
to
there too
lose.
that say that they're going to offer a ridiculous amount of of percentage on a weekly basis or even a daily basis. And I've also seen a lot of these platforms, just die.
Right.
And that's the great thing about Novatech, in my opinion, right? Is that they
Yeah.
don't offer, like, it's not unsustainable amount of return, right? Although it's pretty high, but it's not
Yeah.
unsustainable. And they've been around the block for almost 4 years now. So in my
Yeah.
book, I'm super skeptical. I did a ton of research on them before I decided to do anything. And I'm sure you did too, right? And there's always going to be naysayers and negative people out there, negative Nancy's. And but I couldn't find any like real complaints about that investment. And so
Yeah.
I was like, all right, cool. Fortune favors the
Yeah.
bold. Let me pull the trigger.
So it is
Yeah,
an
and what I love about
educating
it
way.
is diverse
Yeah.
too. Yeah, they're very
There's
diverse,
diversity.
right?
Yeah.
Is Yeah, they're very diverse in multiple countries. I mean, it's we have all walks of life in this. We have doctors, we have lawyers, we have the average teacher, we have people that are in the warehouse. I mean, every walks of life is in Novatech. I mean, we met several in a crypto mastermind, like
Yeah.
multi millionaires that's in
Millionaires.
Novatech, you know.
Yeah. That's true.
So it's crazy.
No, so okay, so moving on. Obviously, you know about certain type of investments. What is financial security means to you?
Everything. Financial freedom, security is everything,
Yeah.
but you have to create that for yourself because there's no financial security in corporate, in in anybody's job. You have
True.
to position yourself for financial security. If you want financial security, you got to play like the big boys play. You have to be around the right people that are already doing it. And if you don't know what that means, it's time to network like Mr. Carlos and Brock and other people that can help you take your business to the next level. It's important to, if you don't have money, to have credit or have both because OPM, that's the way that you can really set yourself up to win. And for people that don't know what OPM is, it's other people's money, right? You can do so much if you have that line of credit. You can leverage that to other things. If I have a business loan, I will always take at least 10% and invest in something that will add more money to create an income for that so I can service that loan. So these are different strategies that we can help people with because you are responsible for that loan. So why not put a portion of it into a vehicle that's going to generate some money for you that can actually pay the loan back? And you can still have the other part to do whatever you need to do to expand your business, to invest into real estate. It's so much you can do with OPM.
That's amazing. You see that
Love it.
that's what we preach, and Misha is put a stamp on it. And again, you can use credit. You can use everything that we've been telling you about how to create business credit, how to develop this corporate credit in order to invest. That's one of the things that we tell you. Hey, one of the main things you need to do is have your money, have your cash flow. Make sure that it brings you more money. This is how you create a
Hmm.
vehicle. This is how you actually start diversifying your investments. Because as you say,
Yes.
you can actually get a loan, use it for operational for whatever you need within your business, but still use part of that loan to invest and pay for the loan. So in reality, you're getting a loan for no expense, no money out of your pocket, because now you're having a cash flow business that actually pays for that loan or for that investment, that credit line, or whatever credit you get for your business. So this is why you need to start using OPM. And when we talk about OPM, like she said, other people's money, it's the bank's money. In reality, it's your money because you just gave it to the bank gave it back to you at a higher price. So
Yep.
same with OPM. So it's how you really want to see that. But it's again, and if you never use that money, somebody, it's probably my money too that you're using. So OPM still
Yep.
uses money. So, but this is amazing. It's amazing.
Absolutely.
Now, besides crypto, besides everything that you do you invest into any other type of investment, any other vehicle out there that actually solidifies everything that you do?
Yeah. So on top of life insurance, of course, the crypto market, I'm leaning more towards real estate now
Hmm.
because I'm really, I have a passion for this tax liens, y'all. So tax lien properties, I
Exactly.
feel that it is the most for me, and just from being in tax lien webinars and seminars, to me, it's the most economical way to get into real estate without, trying to have $1 million a loan that you're trying to get for $1 million. But tax liens, you can literally I mean, you can get a lot of properties with tax
Oh
liens. I
yeah,
mean,
you
because
gotta
they're
be
behind on
patient,
their
right?
taxes.
You gotta be
Yeah.
patient.
And then, yeah, so right now for me, I
Yeah,
want to target those states that the redemption period, it may be immediately. Some states don't have redemption periods. I'm looking at Alabama now, trying to target certain um states where, here in Georgia it's like 12
12
months
months.
here.
Yeah,
So every state have their own redemption period, but even 12 months, I mean, a year can go by in a heartbeat. Like it doesn't matter. It's just positioning yourself to win and understanding that even if that person gets their property back, they still have to pay you that percentage. So you still made your money is safe because you invest into that property, you go through the redemption period, and if they can't get it back, you get that property. Then you go through the process to own that property free and clear.
yeah,
So at that point, you can either rent it out, you have a house that's paid for, or you can rehab it if it needs it, flip it and sell it for three times the value of it, and go from there, or three times the amount, because that house probably only cost 20,000 back in the day, but right now it may value at 150 or 300,000.
yeah.
So just imagine if you only paid $2,000 for this property, for tax purposes, then hey, look all the money that you make, and you're talking about a return on your investment. Like that's crazy.
Mm.
And you got to think,
So real estate,
no,
definitely.
no, that's amazing. A lot of states, the minimum that you get in return per a tax lien could be, it could be, if they come back and pay between 3 days or 12 months, whichever the redemption period is anything between 12 to 18%, even sometimes even higher. And you got to think,
Yes.
a tax lien supersedes a mortgage. So it
That's
doesn't get any
that's
better
how you.
than that. Yes, you got to have the money too, and you got to be patient. You may get
Yeah, it's
the
a process.
property,
Hmm.
yeah, or you may not get the property, but you still will not lose. This is something, I mean,
Mm-mm.
nobody taxes. Nobody gets away from taxes. This is why the
No.
IRS even hired more than 263,000 new agents. Because if you owe taxes, you're gonna pay taxes. Just the same way when it comes down to real estate. And yes, it is a very economical way to actually, economical, not comical, economical way to get
Yeah.
a property. But you need to be patient. You also need to learn where and you need to buy those, because it depends from state to state. Sometimes, as she said, is the redemption period could be right away, or you may have to wait 12 months. You may have to give a person the right of refusal after you even bought the tax lien. They still need to come back and pay you the full amount that they will pay the government. In this case, could be, I think, even less. The last time I checked on tax liens, is no less than 10 to 12%. You're still gonna be making on your
Right.
money.
Absolutely.
You're still gonna be making some money. So yeah,
Mm.
that's a great way to actually make money in real estate. How about, I mean, have you tried to get into commercial real estate yet?
That's my goal. My ultimate goal is to own the multi units. I would like to own a few apartment complexes,
Nice.
and maybe even a small hotel, because commercial
Ooh,
real estate is the way to go.
nice.
And then even bigger scale, I would like to get into Airbnbs over like in Puerto Rico, other countries. I think about as much as I travel. When I go to
Yeah.
Jamaica, and I'm like, well, why not try to get an Airbnb over here,
Try to
versus
go
just
there,
being in the
right?
States. Yeah, so like my mind, I'm telling you, Carlos, my mind is always spinning. Like, what's the next move? I never get
That's awesome.
comfortable because you get to a certain level, even in a platform as great as Novatech, you want once you start making, 50, 30 to 50K of money start, and now you need to leverage, and put into other things to
Yeah.
generate more income and for your families as well, and to set up, other LLCs and corporations for your kids. And speaking of credit, just shifting back.
Hmm.
What I do, my son is 12. He's already an authorized user on three of my accounts. I don't use his social to put a utility bill in his
Yeah.
name. I use it to actually build his credit. So by the time he's 18, he won't need me to co-sign for anything. He's 12 now. So there are some credit card companies that don't give you a minimum age requirement to become an authorized user. So those are little things that I try to push, even though that's your area of expertise. But because my mom was so big on credit coming up, I held on to that. She taught me a lot about, money saving. I mean, she taught me a lot
Yeah.
about saving. She didn't know about the investment piece. I'm actually teaching her now about
Yeah.
investing. But I took those same principles that I learned as a kid, and I just kept adding to that. So it's with a different twist. But life insurance was big in our household. I remember the insurance man coming to the house getting a check every month. My mom was big on credit, so those things stuck with me, and I'm an advocate for them, especially think about your children. Let them be responsible, and by the time they get to a certain age, I won't need to co-sign for anything. I'm going to
Right.
teach him how to set himself up, set up corporations, because if even if I'm dead and gone, then what I've started now he can continue on. So those are
Yeah.
the things that we really have to do better when it comes to generational and breaking generational curses, because I wasn't born wealthy, but at the
Mhm.
same time, there is so much out here now that we
Yeah.
can benefit, and you can become wealthy. And it doesn't take, like I tell people,
True.
it don't take millions to make millions. You
No, no,
just
you're
need to
right.
be with the right people and the
Yeah.
right energy, and surround yourself around the right people that can help you get to the next level in life. And that's something that I stand on wholeheartedly.
I love
No,
it.
no,
Wow.
no.
I love
I
that.
love that. No, no, and that's one thing that we talk about generational wealth, and we're not talking about leaving money. It's just the thinking, the knowledge, the
Education.
Right.
breaking the cycle that we've all been in. Like none of us were thought. I mean, I never thought I'd even balance a check. As a matter of fact,
Right.
I was told that having credit cards was bad.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, you should actually pay everything cash. And today we have more than 65 credit cards. My mom every time she looks at that, is like, "What are you doing?" But you know what? She
Yep.
now she's learning and understanding that how we do things differently. And we use the
Yeah.
same analogy when it comes down to business credit, like what you're saying you're doing with your kid, right? Your son, right?
Hmm.
You are
Right.
now. He's like you are the personal guarantor for him and everything that he does. Once he turns 18, he's gonna have a strong file that he could go out to the world and now do because now he knows too. Same thing when it comes down to business. At the beginning, we all have to do the same. Our business is our kid. We gotta make sure that we personal guarantee everything that our business does, but we're teaching our business how to develop, meaning we're developing all the foundational business. So later on, and we don't have to wait 6 years for my business to turn 18. We could just wait 6 months for my business to go out there and now get the corporate credit that it requires. So like that, it could just go out to the world, could leave me over here home, getting its own credit. And you see the same analogy there, and that's what we try to teach a lot of people. Think about it, but just the same way that we do, and we do, we are leaders in our home, meaning proper leadership when it comes down to teaching our kids. That's the same time of consistency that we need to have when it comes down to business, and that's what we try to use over
Absolutely.
and over. And this is what it's imperative that we learn this because you could use just credit, pull credit out. There's a lot of credit cards, business credit cards there that allow you to pull your cash out and you can invest that money,
Yes.
Hmm.
invest it, pay that off, and now you have a vehicle that you otherwise wouldn't have it because you never took the time to develop the business credit that you require. Now you can use the same cash again and go somewhere else and do the same thing over.
It's very
Lean
cyclical.
and
Then
be
they
Yeah.
can, and then they can give you more, because if you're responsible the first time, then you can go for more funding and you can get
correct.
higher credit lines. So it's a whole method and process in place when it comes to credit, because they may give you 10 to 30. See what you do with that. Then you may qualify. At this point now, you're positioning yourself to go after the bigger funding. But you have to have a plan, because people, you still need to be responsible, because people don't typically know what to do with the money, and that's why you have experts like yourself that can say, well, hey, you can go this route, take a percentage to do this, and still operate your business, but you always want to have some money to leverage, always.
So, and I'm going to give you a great example of that. This is something that's happening as we speak. We actually just were able to get a Airbnb, like you're saying. That's another vehicle
Okay.
of investment. A great, beautiful property. Otherwise, I wouldn't have bought for myself. $2 million house that we are not buying. We are renting the property. We're using business
Gotcha.
credit to rent the property, to furnish the property to the way that when you picture perfect, it is beautiful. We're using all business
Wow.
credit. Otherwise, I wouldn't have used my personal credit or my own cash, but all business credit, and it's gonna pay off in a matter of a month, 2 months, and then it's just
Wow.
gonna beautifully cash flow, beautifully cash flow. And guess what? It's because we have taken the time to develop business credit, creating the foundation that otherwise pulling almost $30,000 at once could hurt our business credit. Remember, we don't have utilization when it comes to personal credit, and if we use that amount we may need our own personal credit for something that otherwise we wouldn't be able to use. So this is why it's
Wow.
imperative, like she's saying, start working on your business credit. Actually, work on your personal credit so you can start developing your business credit, right? Right,
Love it.
Brock? Because I
Oh yeah.
know you got to go see one of the videos that we just put out. We've been putting out this week. Brock, about 2 weeks
Where's the
ago, he
property?
was,
Do I need to book it? Well, I mean, where is it?
Yeah, let's go. Let's all go.
we'll let you know. We'll let you, it's beautiful. It's by the water and everything, dock and everything.
You
So
know I'm a
it is
beach
going to be
girl.
amazing. We'll let you know. We'll
I'm a
let you know.
beach girl. Yeah.
There
I'm
we go.
ready.
Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Let's put it that way. Fort Lauderdale.
Yes, I love
Yeah.
Florida. So yeah.
All right.
Send it to me. I'm gonna be your biggest supporter, man. I'm telling
All
you,
right.
I'm
I
there.
appreciate it. I appreciate it. I appreciate
Just
it.
let me stay in that house.
We'll do a celebration over there. I promise. All right.
Yes.
Love it. Love it.
All right, guys. All right. You know what, Misha? It was amazing today. Thank you
Yes.
for
Thank
being
you
here
so much.
with us. I
You're
mean, we learned a
welcome.
lot. Now, if anyone wants to get in touch with you, how would they be able to get in touch with you?
They can go through you. I was just kidding. I am under Misha. I'm actually in the process of revamping a few of my social media handles, but I am under Misha Holland. As you can see here on this live, Misha Holland, you can definitely DM me. I don't mind you having my personal number as well. And we'll ping that somewhere on this live so they can
Of
reach out
course,
to
yeah.
me. So definitely
Right. So if they're interested
Facebook,
in
I'm
getting an
on LinkedIn.
IUL with
Yeah.
you, just reach out to you,
Yes,
DM
yeah,
you.
they can definitely. Yep, they can definitely DM me. I know some crazy people on social media, but it's okay. They can DM me. I know how to get through. I know how to, maneuver through all that. So
Yeah.
they can definitely DM me via Facebook, Misha Holland, and I look forward to many more of these because people need this information, guys. So, however, many times you guys need me, just let me know because I love to
Awesome.
educate and let people know what's out
Awesome.
there. So
Awesome. Now,
anytime you
Misha,
need me, I'm here.
yeah, let's go. Now, before you get off here, I just want to make sure that that people who are interested about Novatech, they can also reach out to you for that too, right?
Awesome.
Okay,
Absolutely.
cool, cool. All
Awesome.
right,
Yep,
Yes.
guys.
we'll be here to help them.
So we're gonna go. So we're gonna put the description on this video. You'll see more of
Okay.
that. You could DM us. You could also go to Misha Holland. You could find it in social media. But guys, thank you for being here with us today. I appreciate your time, taking the time during the day. Almost an hour. We're here for almost 53 minutes. So thank you, Misha. Thank you, Brock.
You're
I appreciate the
welcome.
time. We'll see you
Absolutely. It's a
soon.
pleasure
Until the
meeting you,
next
Misha.
time.
Let's
Bye
get some
bye.
of this passive income, guys.
Let's
Woo!
go.